Angeles are the two busiest ports in the United States. Combined, these ports move more than 17.3 million TEUs throughout the streets and highways of the cities in the Los Angeles County. They are also a major gateway for trans-Pacific trade. The port occupies 3,520 acres of land with 4,600 acres of water. Some of their top trading partners include China, Vietnam, South Korea, and Japan. The ports generate diesel exhaust from the cargo ships, trucks, and trains that come to deliver the goods, leading this to be one of the top environmental issue greenhouse gas emissions. Over the last couple of years, traffic has increased throughout the port of Long Beach, ranging from container ship and vessels anchoring offshore to semi-trucks awaiting for their cargo pickup. 2 years ago, during the coronavirus pandemic, the demand for online shopping increased, meaning that more goods were being transported because people were forced to stay at home. 2 years later, now they are back to functioning at full rate. The increase in production met the increase in transportation, causing the increases in greenhouse gases. The neighborhoods that are being affected the most are the north and west side of Long Beach, Wilmington, and Carson. These neighborhoods have been known as the diesel death zone. The people who live in these area are mostly low-income families and people of color. As a result, these communities of color are being exploited in political matter by excluding them from the decision-making that shapes and affects their communities. One example is the placement of the 710 Long Beach Freeway. This freeway was also constructed to be used as a trucking route to deliver cargo for and from the ports of LA and Long Beach. Over time, the trucking route has polluted and contaminated the environment nearby communities with man-made greenhouse gases, making it dangerous for the health of residents. People living within the vicinity of the ports experience higher exposure to CO2 emissions. As e-commerce becomes more popular, the demand for goods increase. This results to an increase in more semi-trucks moving goods in highways, causing congestion, which increases the lead time of the trade. Cabrillo High School is located on the west side of the Long Beach on Santa Fe, which is a block away from the port. Nearby are being exposed to hazardous diesel and water pollution. Not too far from there, we also have the beach. The toxins and hazardous waste that the ships release when they are waiting in line also play a factor. The ship, engines, and machinery used for loading and unloading release carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen dioxide. With more ships coming and having larger vessels, it requires deeper water levels, which can interfere with any sea life. I was able to connect the work of David Pello and Laura Polito to my observations. The things that the communities nearby face correlate with what Pello talked about in the second pillar, which has to do with the critical environmental justice focus on the role of scale in the production and possible resolutions of the environmental injustice. The use of the scale is to see how environmental harms and resilient practices are linked and how they are connected ecologically. In contrast, the environmental racism gap highlights the persistent inequality between white and non-white communities. This correlates with what is going on in the neighborhoods of the north and the west side of Long Beach, Wilmington, and Carson. On November 18, 2022, the Port of Long Beach took a step into zero emissions. Heavy-duty electric trucks can now be charged for free at the Port of Long Beach, which announced that it has opened the first 2 public charging stations in the nation for the vehicles. Southern California will need a network of thousands of heavy-duty charging stations not only at the ports but all around the region as society moves to renewable energy to fight climate change, said Port of the Long Beach Executive Director Mario Cordero. Step by step, we're making progress toward meeting the goals of both zero emissions terminal operations by 2030 and zero emissions trucking by 2035, said President Sharon L. Weisman. This is a small step into the right direction to fight for the reduction of greenhouse gases. Another thing that can help is learning about what happens in the communities nearby. That way we're able to give those people who can't vote a voice. By doing this, it can really make a huge impact in the communities around us. More so, let's just keep getting educated and seeing how much of a difference we all can make together. Thank you so much for watching.